Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's me, your girl, the one and only, the H.L.I.C, the one and only room shaker. And I'm going to say this because I see a lot of y'all weighing in. I seen Trinity Community Wall, and she said, why people worried about ICE? They should be worried about other things as far as the government shutdown and all the other things going on. Trust me, Trinity girl, I'm clocking all of it. I can multitask as I have proven. And how do I feel about everybody saying blame Trump? So I guess the solution for everybody issues is, okay, well, we just gonna blame Trump. Everything is Trump fight. Everything is Trump fault. But a lot of stuff that we are witnesses, if we keep it real and be honest about it. Happy birthday, E-Money. Your birthday is Tuesday. I have not forgot you, boo. Oh, excuse me. As y'all know, for the ones that I collab with, I have not been in the best of anything. So I took a break, and I did miss your birthday yesterday. I had every intentions on being here, but hey, I couldn't be here, and I wasn't feeling good, and I wasn't finna come on here and be bothered with these people running amok on this app. I popped out where I could, when I could, and showed some support. I think I actually went to sleep on Bimp Lives, and then I decided to change the channel and watch the politicians do what they do. I think right now they all are playing the blame game. I think right now they all have a hidden agenda. I'm just gonna be honest about it. I think they all playing a part in it, which we all know. So blaming Trump wouldn't be the thing to do. Only thing I can say, and I don't even like Trump. I am not a Trump supporter. I did not vote for Trump. But a lot of things that people ask Trump for, he kind of used it as a way to get elected, and to see him come in and stand on everything as far as that, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Now, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people saying that we should feel some type of way because our turn is coming and all this, yada, yada, yada. I don't care about none of that. If our turn is coming, get out the way, because I feel like it would be a better fight for us that are born here, citizens, to have some standing ground to where we can actually sit here and go up against the government. But we ain't gonna go up against the government the way y'all going up against the government, because this is just an opportunity for a lot of the criminals and people to get active with, and it ain't gonna mean nothing what they doing. Like, hopefully it don't be more stipulations. Like, let's be clear. It's a lot of people in the government that's being laid off right now. There's a lot of people in the government that is being forced to work without getting a check. Now, we know us being people that hold jobs. I'm only talking to y'all. I'm not talking to the deadbeats or the male or female. But for the ones that held jobs, like, one thing we wouldn't do is work without a check. Like, even when you terminate, they tell you they got to put your last check in the mail. People have went off about that. Like, nah, I didn't put my service in the mail. I didn't put that work I did in the mail. So why should I have to wait for the mail to get paid? Like, anything can go wrong. The mailman can get attacked because we got that going on. The check can be delayed. Bills ain't going to hold. Then you might get late fees and all this other stuff going on. So I don't want to hear none of that. Like, yeah, it's no for me. But I can't blame Trump for things that was already going wrong. We had Clinton, we had Biden, and we had all this other stuff. For the ones that's been saying release the Epstein files, like, them Epstein files is coming y'all way. If they voting on it, and they refusing to swear one last person in that basically stands and been part of it, because they don't want her vote to be the one that get the Epstein file released. The Epstein files, they do have them on deck, and they trying to do whatever they can not to release them because they want to protect the high-paid people that's going to be released and exposed from being part of it. So all I can say is we can't wait to see the outcome of it. But y'all, Epstein filed for my girl, what's her name, K-Fed? You said we want them to release them Epstein's files. Baby, Epstein's files is incoming because they said since the man is refusing to swear her in, what they're gonna do is try to get any judge that's able and capable of swearing her in to go ahead and swear her in, because right now they think they don't want to swear her in because so far everybody has voted to release them Epstein file, and the one person that will push it over is the one that they don't want to swear in. So hopefully y'all Epstein's files is on the way. I've been tracking y'all Epstein's files as well. Yesterday was the day of rest. I laid down. I only talked to one person. That's a friend, and I was telling her I just don't feel well. I talked to two people. Two was by text, and then one was by phone. And I was like, I just don't feel my best, so I'm not dealing with you two right now. And I was like, I know my people might be mad because I did miss Money birthday, but baby, I can make it up to you. As far as y'all in these food stamps, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I didn't qualify. They said my income was too high, so why the hell do you think I care about the ones that was sitting here neglecting the government? Basically fraudulently taking funds from and one doing a job. Like, I feel like now you finna have to get it out the mud like everybody else. You won't be messing over. I feel like a lot of y'all gonna show y'all true colors because y'all gonna have aggression. Y'all gonna be upset. Y'all gonna be around here running amok. This live probably gonna be all over the place because I'm gonna go from the stuff that you might have I didn't catch to the stuff I am catching. So I don't know how yesterday Chanel popped up in my feed, but baby, Chanel camped up. Chanel, it looked like you losing more and more weight, baby. But you ain't never been big, so I guess. She popped up and showed her teeth. I was like, I wonder where the hell Mink at, because I know Mink somewhere having a field day with this, or she probably not even caring at all. She cared up. She showed her teeth. She showed her hair. She showed her referee outfit. And then she went to doxing, because I guess, I don't know which one. I don't know if it's China, age, or which one it is. I'm not trying to figure out them people's name because I never knew them specifically. But it's a doxodon going on. They was talking about the eviction and stuff. I seen that mess with Captain in 88, and I don't give a damn about none of that. Like, yeah, no. Like, okay, he's going home. Who thought that they weren't still in contact? Who thought they weren't still working together? Who didn't know the master plan of the board? Because I done called it out over and over again. And y'all, it's 8 people in here. It could the 8 people hit the like button because only 4 did. Make the math match. Make the numbers match up, please, and thank you. Because it seemed like y'all afraid to drop in the chat and say something so I can do a roll call and acknowledge you. But you might be busy, or you might just be laying down and you was like, oh wow, Room Shaker hit our live. But let me go see what the conversation gonna be about. Whichever one it is, I really don't care. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you somebody I don't like, you know to stay in the clouds. But hey, it is what it is. Moving right along. I have broke this little thing down that I have watched played out on the board, and for the slow ones in the back, I'm gonna help you understand it. Like, can y'all hear me? Because somebody tell me if the audio is clear. Matter of fact, don't even worry about it. Let me just see. Let me see what the audio hitting for, and make sure y'all can hear me loud. Matter of fact, don't even worry about it. Oh yeah, it's clear. Okay, let's start there. Okay then. Okay, so, oh wow, so when people feel like riding somebody else's cold chain long enough and they got to reach certain people that they want to reach, and the rest of the people they can't get to because the person that they riding with is somebody people don't majority support, they're going to cause a division or distraction. They're going to pick sides. They're going to divide. And then later on down the line, you're going to see them come back together like it never happened and tell you that they the best of friends and all this other stuff. That's the terminology of gaslighting and playing in your face, because baby, y'all be working and feeling anything, and I watch how y'all one way feel some type of way, and next minute y'all, that person done won y'all over, and y'all decide to praise them, to each his own. And this is why people say that they say hell for y'all serious because y'all so wishy-washy with it. Like, I ain't saying you gotta hate them, I ain't saying you gotta attack them, but it's one thing you ain't gonna see me doing, being friendly and sitting with them like, yeah, I just don't like you and I'm not gonna fake it to be accepted or recognized on the app. But them the ones that know that they got the it factor and they just don't have to play by them reindeer games. If you don't like somebody, you don't like them and you just keep it moving. They don't exist in your world. That's not being a hater, that's being true and real to yourself. And they kind of exclude you from a lot of these stupid games that go on this here application. So yeah, moving right along. We watching Divide and Conquer go down in every way that it can, because now the same person you was riding with, and that's why I say be careful who you choose to be your confidant and your ally and who you gonna rock and roll with, because history seems to repeat itself a whole lot on this here app. And a lot of y'all make me think y'all rode the slow bus because y'all don't understand how this stuff works. And if y'all been paying close attention, it really ain't changed. Now, let's talk about the striking of the page. And let's talk about this dismissal of Gina. Y'all weird. I'm going to tell you why I feel like y'all weird, because people show you who they are when they first enter the board, and some of us can clock it, and some of y'all don't even know what to do with it. Is the chat on? Let me see if the chat on, because I'm watching y'all come in here and I'm noticing ain't nobody jumped down, and I just want to make sure that I ain't the reason y'all can't drop down, because maybe I got the chat off. So let me see. No, the chat is on. Okay then. So yeah, that y'all choose to sit in the clouds. Go right ahead. You ain't bothering me. So with Gina came in being loud, obnoxious. Gina came in being exposed as being a mole. Gina came in trying to play all sides. Gina came in trying to collect information. Gina came in trying to make y'all comfortable with her. Gina came in swinging money everywhere, buying y'all friendship and y'all love. Gina came in doing a lot of things, and while other people were shutting Gina out and said, no, we not rocking with it, more and more of y'all was letting her attach y'all stuff to y'all, claim y'all camps as her home. And now look at her. She's an unstable creature running across this app, and nobody even knows where she stemmed from. She claimed Mob Squad, mink, 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 mink. Like, see, this is the issue. When you be distracted, you be working, you be doing what you be doing with Dylan, or you be doing whatever you be doing, girl. A lot of us be seeing and clocking stuff you don't get. So I'm going to need the people in your Discord to upgrade you on what be going on around you, instead of keeping you laced up with all the messy stuff, the mentioning of your name. They should keep you laced up on everything, because I see Mob Squad be some everywhere. Some of their members be in all the lives, and they be clocking all the tea, and they be seeing stuff when it plays and works itself out and all this good stuff. Like, they be seeing it. So the fact that y'all didn't know that Gina was going to be exactly what I said Gina was going to be, and y'all didn't see the signs, and then Mink said, well, Mom Squad was warning me they didn't like her. Like, that used to be one of the pet peeves right there. If you know that these people don't like her, they tell you she do too much, and they know you weird, for you to allow her to be amongst them, it kind of makes them feel some type of way. Like, girl, this your issue. We're going to leave her right here with you, and we're going to go ahead and go out the building. So I heard somebody announce the other day that, how about when they let Gina up on a panel, you lead them up on a panel with Gina, and you see how the commentary go. Don't even hit the link. Don't even address her. Just let's sit there and ignore her and all this other stuff. Or find somebody else live on the board. Shouts out to Bill for redeeming himself and popping back out for us to give us our entertainment, because he tried to go live the other day and people were so jealous, hearted, and envious that they hurried up and instantly struck him. But he came back. So shouts out to him, because what y'all gonna keep doing with all the striking of these channels is y'all gonna run all the people that keep y'all entertained and engaged away. They gonna start refusing to hit the live button, or they gonna make you basically come up off this app. Because if you ain't noticed, a lot of people have started going elsewhere. They done start moving around. Then they say apps pay better than they do over here. So Twitch has been up, running, and jumping, and it's been giving them everything that they need to give, and people been okay with that. So I'm gonna need y'all to pay very close attention to this, that the content creators that you like might up around and don't come back. Like y'all done lost Tommy Sotomayor to the app and the striking of the channels and all this other stuff. Y'all can't take people realness, but y'all choose to trigger them. And then when they get on y'all tail or they latch on to you and you feel like you ain't got no option in the world but to get rid of them, like that shows you are the weakest link. And this is why I say this over and over again. Like, I don't agree with if you can't beat them, join them, but leave people the hell alone when they ain't bothering y'all. So somebody took time out they busy little day to strike me channel. Now y'all do know y'all gonna release a demon, and when Mink get started and start just focusing in on y'all, y'all cry about it. Y'all lose y'all mind, y'all break y'all mental, and y'all be ready to go downhill from there. So why would you even sit there and play with her like that? But then, like I tell people, sometimes it ain't about the numbers. Cause y'all feel like y'all get the numbers and y'all feel like y'all coming in for the win. But most of the people that be sitting there, like, see, this is why I tell you people, I'm good with the people that support me, back me, and come see me. And some of y'all done start back family. Y'all way over here and I politely exit you stage left. Cause I seen you for the trash that I know you is. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want to sit with you and I don't have to. So moving right along. The fact that I was able to sit here and watch y'all play with each other, the fact that I'm able to see how fake some of y'all are when it comes to each other, the fact that some of y'all truly can't speak y'all mind and tell people exactly how y'all feel, like it's giving weird behavior, but you saying you being your authentic self, and it's showing that you're not. It's showing that you being limited, and you got to sit here and control your tongue instead of telling people how you really feel about them, because you don't know how they gonna perceive it and what they clap back or response is going to be. Shouts out to King Roman. He just had a birthday. Now, King Roman, you made this list because I'm going to call you out. You said you was coming back in October, baby. October is damn near over, and we ain't heard you hit the live button. We hope ain't nothing going wrong in your world. We hope you in good spirit. We hope you doing okay. But yeah, we gonna need you to come back. So you gonna have to come back doing comment. Now you gonna have a harder job because you gonna have to come back doing commentary, and you gonna have to come back doing your call-in show. And if you notice that you said you was coming, hey, the 185, hey baby, you know, since you said that you was gonna do your call-in show, when it was time for you to come back, I shut it down. And it seemed like when I shut it down, that stopped going doing her call-in show. Everybody just dropped the ball on the call-in show. And I said I could hold it down till you come back and keep the torch going. But no, we want a live from you. We expect a live for you. And we gonna hold you to it. Let's go on to Brianna. Shouts out to Brianna. I guess she called my live when I was calling her out. It was like, Brianna, that half-ass live you giving us, that ain't good enough, baby. You gonna have to do better than that. Cause baby, you pop out and then you say, I'm gonna try to get y'all an hour, and I think we don't make it past the seconds. I don't even think we hit the minutes. And then you just go ahead, and now she doing her thing. She back on the board. She hitting panels. She in chats. She coming back out. So good God, she's back in the clouds. What is on the cloud? Okay, baby. Okay, hey Ray Triggs, welcome, welcome, welcome. What it do, baby? Good morning. Good morning to everybody coming in. Ray Triggs, where the hell you been? I seen you in, I think, Jay Dunn chat. And I was like, I see you doing your own thing. I see you almost at your 1,000. So if anybody that's in support and like his commentary, like he been doing his thing on the editing, he been over there running amok. He say he is the king, and if you want the smoke, he got it. He say, come take his crown if you think you got what it take. I've been very entertained by your lives, Ray Trigg. I really been enjoying them. Shouts out to you, and I hope you keep up the good work, because baby, you be keeping me engaged. Now I heard Ness and Sassy is into it. I'm like, girl, well, how the hell did Ness and Sassy get into it? A lot going on in our sector. I see, and you've been doing a good job. And then that's another thing that I enjoy about your channel. That's why I be telling people, if I was to do the graphic war and all that other stuff in a presentation in the best, matter of fact, I think I might go ahead and run it, because I don't think everybody gonna look for what I look for. When I look at a channel, I want to see different backgrounds, different graphics. I want to see you change it up. I want to see you keep me engaged. I want you to keep me laughing. I want you to just entertain me every time I come in there. I don't want to see the same repeated thing over and over again, because I'm like, I don't like reruns like that. What's up, Hassan? Good morning. You always come in here and ask me how I'm doing, and yet and still, I'm here, baby. I'm blessed, absolutely. So I'm good. Yeah, so that's the type of things I look for on the channel. I don't always want to come into the channel and see the same person, a topic, and y'all been running a field day with that. Because I actually been in lives and I've been hearing other names and ain't nobody holding on the lemon no more. So shouts out to y'all for that. I'm glad to see Shakim back on the board. I was trying to see where his strike was gonna go. Bink Page is coming back. She already said that. She was ignoring the emails or wasn't paying attention to the emails. But she back on it. She guaranteed that they was falsely paying her striking her channel and she bring it back. So anywho, Chanel was over the Dawson, whatever the person name is for them ship, Asia, the catfish, or whatever y'all call her. I don't know. So I'm like, this is running amok. This is running amok. I know this is a slap in the shipmates' faces because they was running around here chasing up behind Brandon, allowing Brandon to hand them out STDs, and then Brandon has chose his baby mama over all of them. I know these people feel shit faces. Like, how did the worstest or the equal is get chose over all y'all? And girl, like I'm just laughing at all of this because I'm like, this is comical, this is sickening. Oh girl, like I'm like, oh wait, now I know, especially the one that moved up there. What are you gonna do now? I don't know if she moved up there or what, but you moved up there to be close to this nigga, and now this nigga moving all the way back down there to Texas. So is you finna move to Texas too? Because they said you wanted to be cool with 88, so I guess they was gonna start trying to have threesomes. Like, I'm like, oh wow, y'all just doing too much. Shouts out to Isha. Isha, girl. You and your little what you call that? No, I ain't gonna say little because that sounds disrespectful. You and your merchandise, baby, she been popping her stuff. She been showing you that she got her edges. She said they might be a little gray, but they hoods, they growing out her scalp, they all there. It's completely full in. The captain back with 88, yes, he announced it on his show yesterday. He's moving to Texas with 88. 88 said she need help, and one thing oh, excuse me, one thing about him, when he had that money, he was making sure her daughter was straight, so she ain't gonna take that away from him, and she gonna let him come down there. He ain't gotta stay up there with his wife. He can come on back down there to her. And then people in the chat was feeling some type of way about it. They was like, well, Brandon, you might as well, but he said he finna turn himself in and get his warrants off his back, because I guess watching how Big Baby and what she going through, it was a wake-up call for him. My stuff ain't that serious. They ain't gonna give me that much time, so it's time for me to wake up and go ahead and tell them, here I am, get this warrant off my back, give me whatever time you gonna give me so I can get back to living real life, because he finna see what it's gonna bring. And then this is the perfect time for him to step up as a man, because 9 times out of 10, they gonna start feeling somewhere about not being able to get them food stamps she was getting. So yeah, he gonna have to go ahead and do what it do. So yes, he announced it yesterday, and he said he taking time off to go get that warrant off his back because he don't want to end up like Big Baby. So then a couple of jabs is being done. They brought it to his attention that basically Big Baby said they said why did he have to wait till she went to jail to go ahead and wake this stuff up, because she got all the recorders and stuff like that. She supposed to release her property to somebody, and they got the stuff, so it supposed to be some stuff out here. But I guess that's why I hope that ain't what Captain running for, because they said, dang, a lot of people was being sarcastic. They said you letting Jackie run you up off the board, because now the Big Baby done releasing her property, all the videos and stuff that they was recording is finna hit the scene. And he was like, nah, he'll pop out every once in a while, but I guess he really didn't want to go live from 88 house. But then 88 said, nah, you know how she want her recognitions and she want her shine, so she went ahead and put it out there that nah, he coming to mama to piss these people off. And I'm like, y'all are absolutely running amok, because ooh baby, all the ones that was in love with Brandon, all the ones that was begging Brandon to come stay with them, all the ones that was sleeping with Brandon, all the ones that wanted Brandon attention, baby, like I know they feel shitty that he chose 88 over them. So then they said audio is around here running a tantrum. I don't know. I don't watch him, so I can't recap none of the stuff he doing. If you say you got a lot going on in your sector, I know you ain't been keeping up with it because you ain't hit me up about a show covering the stuff in the beef sector in a while. That's good. The beef sector cartoon has been running amok, y'all. He's a breath of fresh air. He's relaxing. He's entertaining to watch. He should get more support than what he do. Cause baby, he realistic with it, and he ain't sitting here trying to be nobody friend. He telling it like it is, and either you like it or you love it. You gonna respect it. Cause if you don't want to see what he got to say, don't go to his channel. Cause he's speaking his mind. A lot of people was like canceling him. A lot of people was attacking him because they said he knew. I haven't been watching anything in the beef sector. Okay, boo, that's fine. That's fine. Cause I have girl, let me tell you, Ness. Yeah, let me go ahead and wake this up. Cause I for a minute I responded too fast. Cause I'm like, is she playing with me? Cause Ness gonna say, yeah, I spoke to Ness and she gonna say, yeah, I ain't seen you around in a while, but hey, room shaker. And I'm like, girl, I was just in your live. Like, you was in your live and you was popping your stuff. And you was like, if people ain't gonna get to run your live back and watch it, cause you gonna delete it. And you was like, did Shakim hit his live button and all this other stuff? And people was telling Brooke she need to hit Shakim. Like, I could recap your whole goddamn live to you, but I ain't. But the fact that you said that when I spoke to you, like, girl, it damn near made me feel some type of the way. I was like, shit, I cussing this out. But I'm gonna let you have that. But girl, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I do be in your lives, and you know I be in your life. If you sitting up there popping your stuff, it has been times that we don't read our chat. Well, I do read my chat all the time, but it have been time when you have too many people in your chat. You don't go through all the names. Like, some of y'all get frustrated, some of y'all get busy, and some of y'all just be so lost in y'all commentary that y'all don't acknowledge everybody that come in there and speak to you. So I'm like, girl, no, the hell Ness did. But then I see Ness is on one, because baby, Pastor on one too, Brian on one. Like, everybody is running an absolute muck. Because I have watched Brian, I have watched YouTube camera. Now I'm so confused to how the hell Ness and Sassy end up getting into it. And Ness popped in, and I was in Pastor Live, and she said Sassy allegedly asking begging another content creator for money, and the content creator was telling Ness about it, and Ness said if Sassy keep on, they gonna out it. And they was like, how she sitting here claiming she's so diddy and she living that life and she taking these trips and these cruises and she want to sponsor people like Sheffy, but then she sitting here asking for handouts like she ain't that person. I'm like, oh wow. So then Ness said that, girl, look, shouts out to Ness. Welcome to the club. That's going to this damn, I forgot what she called it. But she had Pastor look it up, and they was going to get them some aphrodisiacs, and they was going to be doing all this stuff, and they going to like a little sex party and all that other stuff. And she said that her people, like, she wasn't going to tell them until they got there. They actually did the event because it's over $100 that they got to pay to attend. And baby, when the people found out what Ness was trying to do, Ness said them people start feeling some type of way about it. Them people start feeling some type of way about it. And she was telling them, okay, y'all ain't got to do that. It ain't like that. It's just going to be like a little party where you can go. And I don't know, because if they give me y'all aphrodisiac, I'm sure they planning like, look, don't y'all go there and say that Ness took y'all to something and they put something in y'all drinks, and next thing y'all know, y'all had a freak off. Y'all gonna be around here like Diddy. People gonna have civil suits and all type of federal paperwork coming up against y'all. Like, I was like, y'all running the book. So Stephen told Ness thank you, because tell him thank you, because she needed him to make his trip pop off. And she said needed you. And then Pastor said, well, they doing a good thing promoting that show. He hope he give everything get paused to give. Then they said some people saying they feel like Brian is running the scam. They don't feel like he there. And then they said Brian took a picture to prove he was there. But then they say it was a still video that Brian took, so they still don't believe him. And I was like, oh, y'all just doing too much at this point. So it's a lot going on over there. I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So then Krista and them, like, oh, my God, I got Aubrey on the panel. I'm like, because y'all are not finna make Krista a conversation or a topic that y'all finna shove down my throat. I'm sick of hearing about limit sexuality, because we all know what it is and what it gives. So, yeah, moving right along. Like, who else gonna pop out? Like, y'all got a lot of shows that's supposed to be going down. I don't know if Dovey had it already, or I think it's on the 25th or something. But Dovey supposed to be having a pumpkin carving contest. Lady Nika supposed to be having a Halloween party, and then you got the ugly sweater competition, and then Broadway and Big Baby supposed to be having one. So Big Baby told Broadway to let Jackie replace her, and then Cooler, I know Cooler was saying well because she replaced it, but they said Big Baby said that you know who you want to replace her, so it's gonna go ahead and be Jackie. And Broadway was like, well, she could have just said that, and they like, you already knew what she was gonna say because they cool. But anywho, moving right along. So then F got a competition coming up. And what's up, Big Riz? What it do, baby? Good morning. What you doing up this early? What you doing up this early, Big Rigs? So I caught y'all late night, early morning. Shouts out to y'all for being out here. So yeah, as far as the government shutdown, I don't look for all the ones that was bragging about how they was defrauding the government and how they was playing with their food stamps and all this stuff. Now we finna see what you gonna do, because come November, won't no food stamps be issued. It's midnight. I know it's 1:51 a.m. in Chicago, baby. Let's get into it. So yeah, it's just gonna make you happy. So woo, for all you people that don't hold jobs and don't know where your income gonna stem from, it's basically finna make you get out here and get it out the mud. And I can't say I'm mad about it, because see, when you get to thinking it's cute to brag about how you selling stamps and you giving stamps away, and where's Bertha May? Because I know Bertha May pop it out, because Bertha May know uppity food stamps they by heart, and every time up it's time for uppity to get her food stamps, Bertha May make a whole announcement about her. Hey, Snoopy Tremaine, Bertha May make a whole post on her community wall saying it's Uppity Stamps Day, because she said Uppity done ran so many months that she know her stamp day by heart, because she done always bragged about it. So it's a lot of stuff that we can expect to wake up and keep going on this here app. And I hope y'all ready for and y'all stay in attendance, because baby, they running an absolute muck. What else would y'all wanna swing through and talk about this morning? Because like I said, I read Trinity Wall, and she said why everybody worry about ICE is more stuff they should be worried about. They can kiss her tail. They need to worry about what's going on in the world. Like I say, I'm tracking it all. But some of y'all don't like to talk about politicians, because I see some of y'all feel some type of way. Shouts out to Miss Toby. Because they was like, well, how do you feel about ICE putting them ties on them kids' wrists and bringing them up out of there? I say, I feel like if black people gonna assert themselves in this war on these Mexicans, then whatever they go through, I don't feel no type of way about it, because this wasn't our fight. We were supposed to mind the business that pays us, but people want to unite and fight for the wrong causes. Like the fact that these people think that they can overrun our government is weird. That should make you wonder, sooner or later, once they overrun the government, and we already had them when they was first got here, they started trying to take over building complexes and start taking over properties and stuff, and was saying that they were going to go to war with it, kicking people out the complex so they could take it over. Like, and then some of y'all felt like they was too strong. Y'all didn't want to fight them. So it was weird to find out that our own race started working for these people, like, because you needed some money. Like, you know, it's plenty of black people you could have got out here and worked with, but you went to work with them. So if you get caught up in this little thing that they got going on, I don't give a damn about you. Do whatever you see, do whatever you want to do, because I quite frankly don't care. I feel like the fact that they trying to take benefits from us and they want us to pay for y'all, and we got to pay for ourselves and our kids, like, it ain't fair. So yeah, and you keep trying to plank this agenda that we up next. Well, if you move out the way and if you go ahead and let them do their due process with you, then they can go ahead and start working on us, because see, the difference between us and you is that we are not illegal. We're actually born citizens. We actually got some stuff that we can stand on and give them a run for their goddamn money. But I'm going to say this, they playing both sides, because the only reason y'all was able to come in, the only reason they been letting y'all come in, because some of these jobs, we ain't finna work. I ain't finna do no farming job. I ain't finna pick no cotton. I ain't finna do nothing. I've seen a lot of videos go up that I've been watching from idle plants and all these other places said that they ain't gonna be able to ship out onions. They ain't gonna be able to ship out all the stuff that they grow on their farm for their agriculture and stuff like that, to make sure that they ship it all over the world. And then so the man asked them that did the interview was like, well, why don't you hire people? And she was like, because these people don't want to do that type of job. Absolutely not. Exactly. Exactly. Like, we ain't working for no room and board, because they was like, well, because she said the deal that she got with immigration and them, before she pick out the people that come work with her, they got to go through a stream background check. They got to get them room and board. They got to give them pay, and they pay them minimum wage and all that stuff. Like, yeah, we was mad that y'all didn't take the minimum wage up, and y'all should take the minimum wage up again, because for the simple fact is y'all keep raising the price of living. So you should at least make it where it land out and it be equal. Like, I'm just saying, because you got people, you want people to work 3 or 4 jobs, and people ain't finna slave like they used to do back in the days. Like, you had people that would sit here and work as many jobs as they can. Like, we ain't finna go back into slavery by default. Like, that's just a no for us. You say they got the National Guards ready to come to Florida, aka San Francisco. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And then the fact that a lot of people feel like they going up against the government, like, if these people think they could override our government, everybody that try to override our government, we end up going to war with them. Even when I feel like it's some times, and it's been instances when we can mind our goddamn business, because half of the stuff we be going to war about, I be like, what the hell is going on? Like, mind your business. They went over there messing with Bin Laden and all them other people, because they was threatening America, because America feel like they supposed to have say-so in all these other countries. But since when have our government ever let them people come over here and tell them what they should and shouldn't be doing to us? And another thing I got an issue with, because we will have stiff, cruel punishment. Y'all talking about ICE snatching them up. Look at the times we done been hunted by the U.S. Marshals. Look at the times we done had our doors kicked in. Look at the time we done had our brothers or our uncles or people that we was familiar with get snatched up off the street and got picked up for crimes that they said they committed. So we have been getting snatched up. Look at the fact that we still got people over here that's hanging people by nooses, and ain't nobody getting to the bottom of where's all these hangings coming from. Look at the time that happened down there in Arkansas, Mississippi, and all these prejudiced hick towns that they still got on this board. Well, in the real world. Look at the time we done sat here, and so for some odd reason, a black church that just done caught engulfed in flames. So then next thing you know, a white church got hit. And then people start saying that we ain't going back in slavery. Y'all can try that stuff if y'all want to. We a whole lot stronger. We gonna give y'all a run for y'all money. So I'm just saying, y'all sitting here talking about stuff that's been coming and seeping back in, and we all woke up to it. And some of y'all still sleep. Y'all ignore it, because it, like y'all say, it ain't gonna affect y'all till it hit y'all front door. But for the ones, we done seen Murray show. We done seen the Wilco show. We done seen what people kept sitting here watching, people talking about they trying to find a baby daddy and this and that and that and this, and talking about that they get food stamps and all this other stuff, and talk about people keep having kids that they can't afford because they was backing the government assistance to sit here and back them. Now y'all sitting here talking about y'all don't know where y'all food gonna come from. The pantry say they overwhelmed because they ain't got that much to feed all these people. But as long as the government been talking about this, why you didn't think that day was never gonna get here? Why would you not put yourself in a situation to win? Like, at so many setbacks we have took, your main goal is to think long term and preventing it from happening, becoming a repeated cycle where you go through it over and over again. Like, some of y'all allow y'allself to be made victims. Some of y'all just don't understand how the world is set up. And that's because y'all was too worried about keeping up with the Joneses, the Kardashians, and going for the fine of living and all that stuff. And y'all weren't thinking long term. Like, if something happened today, would you be able to sustain the storm? Would you be one of them that came out as a survivor, still intact mentally, emotionally, and physically? Or would you be one of them that just got swiped out the way because you was a waste of time and space? And that's what a lot of y'all get because y'all brag about not having a job. Y'all brag about not having to get out here and get it out the mud. Y'all brag about stuff like this. So why should we give a damn that you taking a hit? And I'm going to tell you something. Like, these subscribers, I have been watching y'all. I have been watching the lives of y'all saying these people beg too much. These people getting on y'all nerves. Y'all closing y'all purse. Y'all ain't opening it up. Y'all sick of donating to people. Y'all sick of giving to people. Y'all ain't finna hear they back because you watched them throw their whole life away. Like, I can't get mad at you because that's how you truly feel. And they should be respected to that. And then I have watched this, and that's why I said something on YouTube cameras. A lot of these subscribers say that content creators can ask them for stuff. They ask them for wish lists. They ask them for donations. They ask them for goals. They ask them for super chats, super stickers, and birthday gifts and all this other stuff. But when it comes down to them being in need and they want to come ask you, could you help them? It's like they got to become content. They got to be talked about. You feel like they shouldn't be able to ask you for none. You feel like they shouldn't even fix their mouth or part their teeth to tell you that they in need. And then you sit here and drag them or you expose them, and they basically got to do a whole lot informative thing telling you what they need the money for, and they got to prove it. Like, why should they got to prove it? Because they don't make y'all prove hell for the stuff that y'all ask for. They give it to you because you ask, and that's why I say. But these subscribers have got to the point where they like it. I think they like the fact that they can say they gave to somebody. I think they like the fact that they get a little slap on the teeth, or they make you a little slap upside the head, or they make you acknowledge them for a second there. I think that's weird behavior because if you don't want to give, you're not obligated to. You don't have to. But the fact that y'all giving because a person asking y'all, like I tell you, if you feel it in your heart that you don't have it, and then some of y'all have told me this, and I'm not gonna put no names out there because I done kept this secret the whole 6 years, so I might as well keep it for longer. Y'all have not paid for y'all medicine. Y'all ain't paid for y'all doctor business. Y'all ain't even went without paying y'all bills because y'all was too busy trying to support a content creator that you wanted to be cool and cordial with. And then when it was time, y'all was coming having to sit with other people to tell us how that content creator did you. And next thing you know, we look up and you right back in that content creator face. And I be like, I pity the fool. So then you get mad when the next content creator was like, well, we don't want to hear about it. Like, we don't need to even see this as a reason to make it content. We feel like this is something you shouldn't want the world to know about. So go ahead and sweep it under the rug and keep it moving. Break it down. Hey, Magnum. So I don't be caring the stuff y'all be nagging about. I'm like, my mind be wrapped around so much other stuff. I don't be having time for the shenanigans, the bull crap, the stuff that y'all be wanting me to get into. I'm like, nah, go give it to the next content creator. And then I noticed some of y'all try to use people to do y'all dirty work. If y'all feel like y'all couldn't give it the oomph that it needed when you wanted to bring it to the board, you'll feed it to another content creator or another subscriber that's closer to another content creator for them to be the one to bring it out here and wake it the hell up so you can chime in and you can eat off of it. Like, we watch all this type of stuff go down, and I'm just like, I'm over a lot of stuff y'all be doing, so I moved out the way and I get to doing my own thing. It's a lot of things that people should be worried about. I wanted to do some lives about it. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stay going forward in content. I am gonna do the ice, but like I told them, ice might be a weekend thing, but to fill in the gaps when I do hit my live button, we're gonna focus on content that I feel like worthy of talking about. Because a lot of people have been coming up here, Chicago Flip Red. A lot of people have been coming up here since they done filed lawsuits and stuff against the state. Like, it's been like charges done came up. It's been like little stupid stuff. Like, then people business licenses getting shut down because they didn't want to donate to certain campaigns and stuff. And then the reason why they raising these taxes, because they hope when they raise the taxes, if you ain't got the money to pay right then and there, they can start moving towards taking your stuff. A lot of houses, people have been coming out saying their houses have been getting stolen, and not only by the government and they surrounding cities and states, but the HOA, the homeowner association, it's been finding the hell out of people lately. It has actually been finding people, and after they put so many fines on you, they could put a claim and a hold on your deed. So it's a lot going on. Good morning, Room Shaker. I'm hearing Big Gas Man. Baby, I'm so sick of you, Gas Man. Carry on. But it's good because I ain't heard your name in no scandals lately. So I guess you doing a whole lot better because y'all be out here running the goddamn up. But I just wanted to say, like, I am Trinity. I seen your community wall. I am subscribed. I seen your community wall, and I agree with you. It is a lot of stuff to be worried about. But for those that can keep up with one subject and then go ahead and glaze into another one and still ain't missing a beat on the other one, like, I'm clocking everything. I'm watching the Congress meeting. I'm watching the House meetings. I'm watching all the meetings that we have access to, and I'm keeping up with the Epstein's files because y'all keep saying y'all want it. And then I might just play a little audio on this live so y'all can see what all I've been keeping up with, and I have been marking them so I can keep them and I can come back and affirm to y'all or playing for y'all and stuff like that, because I've been playing a lot to everything. Okay, we're gonna start with this because I just was like, okay, hold on, so y'all can hear what's going on.
Secretaries in the Trump administration. And guess what? Those interviews completely debunked the Democrat smear against President Trump. Barr stated that there was no evidence that President Trump was involved in Epstein's criminal activity. Acosta confirmed there was no contact with President Trump during the Florida case. No link, no conversations, nothing. Despite these facts, Democrats, especially Ranking Member Garcia, continue to spread lies about President Trump. And they are lies. They're infected with an incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome. Oversight Committee Democrats post daily about Epstein. In fact, they've posted or reposted about Epstein nearly 60 times on X since the shutdown began. You know how many times they posted about essential federal workers not receiving paychecks because they voted against funding the government? Once. They've posted about that once on the Democrat Oversight Committee and over 60 times about Epstein. You see where their priorities are. Let's be clear. Democrats don't care about transparency or accountability in this matter. The evidence we've gathered does not implicate President Trump in any way. Public reporting, survivor testimony, and official documents show that Bill Clinton had far closer ties to Epstein. We're working to bring former President Clinton in for a deposition, but the Democrats aren't helping one bit. You would think, since we've already brought two former Trump cabinet secretaries in, they would be willing to bring in a Democrat who's had publicly a far closer relationship with especially Maxwell and Epstein. So why is that? That's a question every reporter should be asking Ranking Member Garcia and every Democrat on the committee. Why are you helping to bring...
But y'all finna find out that they refusing to swear somebody in. She has been elected.
The Oversight Committee remains committed to accountability and transparency for the American people and for Epstein's victims. Our investigation has not stopped during this shutdown. We've released more documents just this past Friday. Democrats need to stop playing games and vote to reopen the government. With that,
Okay. So y'all finna find out. Okay, this is why I just played that one, but I'm finna play the next one.
Investigation. In a major escalation tonight, the Attorney General of Arizona and Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva of Arizona are suing Mike Johnson. And they're suing him because Grijalva has not been sworn in. So what does all this have to do with Jeffrey Epstein? Because it does at its heart. Grijalva is the final vote needed for a bipartisan maneuver called a discharge petition that goes around Johnson. Goes around Johnson because he does not want a vote to release the full Epstein files. This would go around him, get that vote to release the files. Grijalva was elected in Arizona 28 days ago, a whole month. And Johnson has, in that time, used every excuse not to swear her in.
Because this will be the final vote
Look,
they need to
we'll
release
schedule it,
Epstein
I guess, as soon
files.
as she wants. It
So
has
they
nothing
don't want
do
to
with
swear
some
her
of the
in.
Democrats
They keeping her out.
a vote to reopen the government. She deserves to have all the pomp and circumstance that everybody else does. Have her family and friends in the balcony. But,
so if she flies in her
good thing
family,
for
would you guys do it?
All of us, she'll get the full bells and whistles. It hasn't
understand
been
how this
scheduled
works,
because
right?
we don't schedule things for pro forma.
And when Grijalva called Johnson out on not swearing her in and doing it, she says, to protect Jeffrey Epstein and his high-powered clients, Johnson had this to say.
Bless her heart, she's a representative-elect. She doesn't know how it works around here.
Well, putting the condescension aside, she does know she's supposed to be sworn in. That, of course, is democracy 101, right? You get elected by the people of your state and you get sworn in. That's democracy. And tonight, the Arizona Attorney General, Chris Mays, whom I'll be speaking to in just a moment, writes, and I quote, in this lawsuit, Speaker Johnson has not identified any valid reason for refusing to promptly seat Ms. Grijalva. Instead, on information and belief, Speaker Johnson wishes to delay seating Ms. Grijalva to prevent her from signing a discharge petition that would force a vote on the release of the Epstein files. And just a few moments ago, Johnson just responded.
So they fighting is because they done got half of the votes, and the one lady that can vote, and she says she's voting to release the Epstein file, they trying to prevent from swearing her in.
I think it's patently absurd. We run the House. She has no jurisdiction. We're following the precedent. She's looking for national publicity. Apparently she's gotten some of it. But good luck with that.
Johnson on defense, and it is not just because of this specific lawsuit that was just filed. It is actually because Republicans, members of his own party in the House, are speaking out because many of them want the Epstein files released now, and they know that Grijalva's vote is the key to that.
It baffles me. To me, this is the easiest one to do. This is standing up for women and children who are raped, who are victims of sex trafficking, and this is for victims that are facing horrible consequences right now due to abuse. And I can't understand why this has been seemingly the biggest fight in Washington, D.C. It certainly shouldn't be.
She's completely right about that. It all comes on the same day the memoir of the most high-profile Epstein accuser, Virginia Giuffre, was published. Giuffre died by suicide after the decades of suffering she endured. She died earlier this year. But before she took her own life, she documented the unimaginable abuse that she suffered because of Jeffrey Epstein and his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who, of course, is convicted. Abuse that Virginia writes from, quote, came from a multitude of powerful men. Among them were a gubernatorial candidate who was soon to win election in a Western state and a former U.S. senator. Since Epstein usually neglected to introduce me to these men by name or introduce them at all, I would only learn who some of them were years later when I studied photographs of Epstein's associates and recognized the faces of those I was forced to have sex with. Giuffre even documents her abuse from a prime minister. In that case, she writes that he, quote, wasn't interested in caresses, he wanted violence. He repeatedly choked me until I lost consciousness and took pleasure in seeing me in fear for my life. Horrifically, the prime minister laughed when he hurt me and got more aroused when I begged him to stop. I mean, this is despicable stuff. It's pretty awful to have to sit here and even read sentences like that. Never mind to imagine there's a person who wrote them because they happened to her. Because not one of those men has been held accountable, not one. And many of them right now, as we speak, are in circles of high society. Their friends might even see this. Their friends might even suspect or know, but they're just continuing along in high society. And that is wrong. And they must face accountability. Releasing the Epstein files, it should not be one of the biggest fights in Washington. Marjorie Taylor Greene is right about that. And perhaps Johnson is starting to feel the pressure because earlier today he was on the defense about the Epstein vote, saying to Politico, quote, the bipartisan House Oversight Committee is already accomplishing what the discharge petition, the gambit, sought and much more. It's important to just get to the bottom of this, though, when that is said, if that argument is made, to point out that that is false. Because the Oversight Committee, they are doing work, but they are releasing documents that are only a fraction of what exist. According to Ro Khanna on the committee, he and obviously he's a Democrat, Massey a Republican, the files are just 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte of what the Oversight Committee has. That's what they have. There are 300 gigabytes of files that are known that the FBI said exist. So that is 1/300th of the total. right? And much of that 1/300th was already known to be public. Johnson knows all of this. So when he is claiming he is all for transparency in this, and when it comes to Epstein, saying if it hits 218, it comes to the floor. That's how it works. If you get the signatures, it goes to a vote. Well, of course, in a sense, that's talking in circles because you only get to 218 if. Why did we just talk about Epstein for a few minutes? Because you actually have to see Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva. She has to be sworn in. That is the 218th vote. And perhaps Grijalva herself has said it best. Here's what she told me.
So if this has nothing to do with the Epstein files, then swear me in.
Chris Mays is the Democratic Attorney General of Arizona.
As I stated, they don't want to swear her in because she vowed to vote for that 218 to let them Epstein files be released, and they refusing to swear her in. She has been elected, she has won, and they refusing to swear her in because she already said that she's voting for the Epstein files to be released. So yeah, y'all, Epstein's files should be coming. It's only a matter of time because they said if he refuses to swear her in, they'll get somebody else that's more than capable to swear her in, and that'll be that on that. They saying because she can't get her family there. So they said, well, if she fly her family in so they can be there, then would you swear her in? And as you see, he didn't want to respond to that. So they seen that it's people, because these people are high profile, they're still trying to block it being sworn in. They might be getting some money on the side. We know how corruption works. Oh, excuse me. And we know that they want to protect the people that get the money, and that probably can get them some little money on the back end. So that could be what's going on. But it's actually, like you said, somebody actually committed suicide to keep it, and wrote a book about all the stuff she endured and what she went through. And they was like, it's triggering a lot of women, because they was like, the men didn't have to endure this. This was women that this was happening to. So they feel like that now it is dividing them, because they said that, no, this is not fair. They want something to be done about this. So a woman that said that she'll be the one to give the 218 votes, and they refusing to swear her in. So we wait. I'm keeping up with that as well. It's a lot of stuff going on. Then they trying to put another 30 days till they let the Supreme Court rule, override the judges in the federal court that decided that Trump couldn't have the National Guards released. They said that they're gonna sit here and they're gonna go to Trump taking it to the Supreme Court, and they waiting for the Supreme Court to rule. So we waiting to see whether or not the National Guard's gonna be released. Like I say, it's a lot of crime going on. Of course, it's been shootouts and stuff. They found out a Mexican dude unalived a woman and put her in cement. And then it was a Mexican dude that unalived another Mexican. And of course, these are illegal immigrants doing this stuff. So they feel some type of way. Then we found out, y'all, that's another thing I'm gonna break down when I get the opportunity. I'm gonna do a reaction video to it so y'all can get a visual of it. It's basically some people, like, these people are getting locked up for committing hindrance SA of assaults on people, and the government is letting them out, and they only giving them like $500 bonds and stuff like that. Then it was something I seen about a sheriff. Like, have y'all ever seen an incident when the sheriff ran the sheriff office from a jail? Because I want to pay that for y'all as well. Let me get it. Yeah, because they was like, this is getting out of hand. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on with the government being...
Breaking news, St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery has been indicted on federal charges.
I have not been found guilty of any wrongdoing, and I will not be removed from this office.
The judge said KG getting into spats over whether or not he tested positive for marijuana, for example.
It's a bad reflection on St. Louis.
St. Louis City Sheriff Alfred Montgomery is behind bars. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway post on social media reads, "It's impossible to do your job from behind bars. Montgomery should resign immediately."
This story starts with a sheriff.
The sheriff is in... This is in St. Louis, y'all. The sheriff is in jail, and he running everything from the jail.
As we speak, that was the shocking turn of events his lawyers did not see coming. They were here on a bond revocation hearing. You'll recall it was late last week, that federal prosecutors unsealed new indictments, new federal criminal charges against the sheriff, alleging that he had retaliated or tampered with witnesses in the federal misdemeanor case.
Alfred Montgomery was doing the absolute most. Witness tampering, burner phones, 14 guns. This man's a walking don't do this tutorial. And somehow he is still the sheriff from a cell. Welcome to Missouri, where the only thing stronger than the law is the ego. Let's get into it. Alfred Montgomery came in talking like a reformer, and he had the city dealing with one of the highest crime rates in the country. St. Louis still sits near the top of national rankings for violent crime per capita. They don't play around in St. Louis. Police are battling a legacy of underfunded community mistrust and gang-related violence. Montgomery stepped in during the fragile moment, promising to fix the system and restore safety. In fact, he actually beat his former boss for the job.
These magic books made writing practice fun for kids.
Now it's time to build a sheriff's office that model.
There will soon be a new sheriff in town. Alfred Montgomery unseating Sheriff Vernon Betts, who's held that position for 7 years.
Make sure the number one thing that I plan on doing is updating the policy and procedures within the sheriff's office. I also want to update the sheriff's office completely, up to the technology. Right now, the sheriff's office is behind.
Now, this is content. Thank you for what you're doing. You're appreciated. Thank you.
To see if tax dollars have been mishandled and build rapport with city leaders to see if he can offer insight on improving operations at the City Justice Center.
In this situation, many people believe that he could be the guy to lead a turnaround, promising change, transparency, and accountability, all the good buzzwords you say when you're about to do the complete opposite. He told everyone that he's going to modernize the sheriff's office, audit the books, and clean up corruption. And many people brought it. They wanted something new, someone who wasn't going to be a part of the old system. But if he's on this channel, you know that turned out he wasn't going to fight corruption. He was the corruption. The man strutted in like a preacher with a badge, obsessed with control and completely allergic to accountability. The city thought they're going to hire a good guy, but they turned out to have someone that is just the complete opposite of what they need to fight St. Louis crime. Now, what am I talking about? Well, apparently this happened on Valentine's Day. You know, where people out there buying chocolates and taking people out for dates and doing all that lovey-dovey commercialized stuff. Alfred was out there handcuffing co-workers. Yes, handcuffing co-workers. He allegedly ordered deputies to arrest a deputy commissioner because she stopped him from reaching a sexual assault victim. Yes. The victim says that she was assaulted by one of his deputies. According to reports, this incident happened during a patrol stop, and the woman immediately went to supervisors to file a complaint. And instead of supporting an internal investigation, you know, like transparency and accountability, Montgomery reportedly tried to access the victim directly, something that raised serious legal and ethical red flags. Witnesses said that he was insistent on being in the room, even after she asked him to be kept away. That's when the deputy commissioner stepped in, blocking his access to protect the investigation and the victim's privacy, rather than backing down. Montgomery doubled down, allegedly barking orders to arrest her on the spot. This move was completely crazy and obviously shocked the entire department. Several deputies hesitated, unsure that they were about to commit a crime with themselves, but the power dynamic made the moment tense and chaotic. This was a public flex of power, and it showed just how far Montgomery was willing to go to control a situation that threatened his department's reputation. So when someone is trying to protect the victim and he's responding by arrest the person here, arrest her, that is some real power tripping on overdrive.
I have not been found guilty of any wrongdoing, and I will not be removed from this office. I will not run from this office. I will continue to serve the people of this city, and I will continue to do my duties as the sheriff and protecting the courts. Thank you.
Montgomery ducked out the back door, refusing to answer any of our questions.
So that's when the feds start paying attention. Once you start arresting your own staff, you're not enforcing the law anymore. You're going to be falling into that special show they call Cops Internal Affairs Edition. So from that moment, his career went from that rising star to open federal investigation.
Montgomery is facing a list of accusations ranging from misuse of power to nepotism.
As he has been released on bond, he pleaded not guilty to one federal charge of deprivation of rights under color of law.
So at that point, he was on house arrest, ankle monitor and all. Most people in that situation stay quiet, realizing, hey, I gotta take care of this serious case. But Alfred, he started calling witnesses, using a secret burner phone.
The man in charge of transporting jail detainees in the city of St. Louis now finds himself in a jail cell tonight.
Prosecutors say the sheriff used a secret burner phone to threaten witnesses in the case against him. That's after a judge told him not to contact any witnesses at all. Following allegations, he threatened his own deputies for cooperating with the FBI probe into his practices.
They call that witness tampering because, he's under investigation. You shouldn't be talking to anybody. It's like being on a diet and ordering cake through Uber Eats while live streaming it.
Then the pretrial services office said that he wanted to, quote, punch someone and knock them out in this phone call. That's a recording that prosecutors played for this pretrial services officer in court. At the end, the judge looked for ways to create alternatives to sending the sheriff to jail.
The judge asked him, how many guns do you have? He said 5. They fined 14. The judge basically said, I didn't want to have these problems. And now here we are. Bond revoked. House arrest over. Straight to federal custody. That's how the St. Louis sheriff became an inmate. Now, you think once you're in jail, it's pretty much over, but not for Alfred. He's still the sheriff. He is still literally running the office from his cell through phone calls. The acting chief is handling the day-to-day stuff, but Alfred is still calling in from jail, probably saying, hey, bro, did you file that report? I mean, Alfred, you are the report. At this point, he is basically being the sheriff like it's a remote job. Work from cell energy. How is he even able to do this? Answer calls and jail visits? The man is governing by voicemail, and he said he won't step down because the people elected him. Now the Missouri Attorney General files to remove him. The mayor calls this whole situation absurd. Everyone seems pretty exhausted, and Alfred still is insisting that he's innocent. It's either confidence or denial. At this point, maybe both, but this is how the system gets really stupid. Now, apparently in Missouri, you can't just fire an elective sheriff, even if the man is behind bars. Until there's a conviction, he technically still holds office. So that's not really much of a loophole. That's more of a black hole. I mean, embarrassment throughout the entire situation here. Power is a serious addiction. It's one of those things that can really melt people's brains. You give the wrong person a badge and a title, and suddenly the rules don't apply to them. Alfred said he was going to modernize the sheriff's office, and technically he did. He's probably the first sheriff to manage a department entirely through collect calls. It's funny until you realize the real victims and the staff are stuck in this circus, a department waiting for a man behind bars to decide if he is still in charge. It's a clown show situation right now. So hopefully eventually he gets fired. Regardless, he has to fight this case. You need a real sheriff running the situation in St. Louis. They can't afford to wait until this trial is over. And looking from what I've seen so far in this case with Alfred Montgomery, most likely he did commit some crimes here. So he's not coming out anytime soon.
Okay. It's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot. That's why I say, baby, I've been keeping up with a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I ain't never seen a sheriff run the sheriff thing from jail.
Good afternoon, everyone. Packed house here today, and I have a very special guest with us, the Vice President of the United States. He'll deliver some remarks and take some questions. First, I just want to share remarks of my own. Democrats in Congress have officially shut down the United States government. House Republicans passed a nonpartisan, clean piece of legislation to extend current government funding until November 21st. But nearly every single Democrat senator voted against this bill. To be clear, this was the exact same bill that Democrats approved 6 short months ago in March, just adjusted for inflation. This is the same kind of clean funding bill that Democrats passed 13 separate times when they held the majority during Joe Biden's administration. So the American people woke up this morning and asked the obvious question: why is the government shut down right now? The answer is pure partisan politics being played by the Democrat Party. The Democrats shut down the government because President Trump and the Republicans will not force American taxpayers to pay for free health care for illegal aliens. America is $37 trillion in debt. We cannot afford to provide taxpayer-funded free health care to illegals who broke the law to enter our country.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. $37 trillion in debt in Chicago, supposed to be million in debt. Like, how the hell do we? And you know something, this is something we've been dealing with for years to come. Like, how the hell is it? They say our money pulls away more than any money in the world, but how the hell are we always in debt? Like, this is crazy. We wait for our taxes. We wait. It have been time that they done sat here and told us it'll be a delay and stuff. People have ended up losing their benefits. Oh, excuse me. It done been times that this ain't the first time the government has been shut down. Let's be clear. It done been times that people didn't know whether they was going to get their income, their Social Security, their SSI, and stuff like that. So this is stuff we've been experiencing way before Trump got back in office. So I don't understand how they blaming Trump for all this corruption. Like, I think this go all the way back to Clinton and some old people. Like, a lot of people have played their part and have made this situation worse and worse. Obama is on the list. Bill, it's a lot of them. Like, I'm just sorry. So when people be like, no, let's just blame Trump, and Trump is the one taking away from our benefits. But do you not hear what the argument is about? The argument is over whether or not these immigrants should you be able to use our taxpaying dollars to get their feet up. Like, yeah. But then y'all talking about healthcare is so expensive. How many of y'all sit here and say that y'all don't even have insurance? How many of y'all can't go see a doctor without putting yourself in debt with behind medical bills? Like, we don't watch this all the time, but you bringing into these people and you want to put our taxpaying dollars behind them. But there's been times that you told us you didn't even know if you was going to have the money to give us our taxpaying dollars back. Like, it's been so many times y'all done had to wait for y'all refunds at the end of the year. Who's to say at the end of this year you might not be waiting on your refund? Like, people should stop begging on taxes to come through because, man, look, it been plenty of times that taxes have been delayed. So I'm just like, okay, here go. Miss Douglas says something. I'm not listening to those lies. Immigrants aren't American citizens. They can't get the benefits that they are talking about. They lie. I got something for you. Because you know that they do get them benefits. During an audit of a lot of things, it has been incidents where they have found out that basically, like, okay, it's a rule, because I watched that too, and they did a breakdown of it. It was a dude that they swore in, our governor up here in Illinois swore in to be an officer, gave him a service pistol, and Trump said by them being illegals, that it's documentation written that they ain't even supposed to be able to own a pistol over here. But our government, our governor, decided to swear him in, make him an officer. ICE just locked this man up. And when they interviewed the man, because I watched his interview, he said, yeah, when he filled out the paperwork, they said they was understaffed and they was telling him they can't qualify to be a police officer. They told him to come in and go through the protocol. So he went in and went through the protocol, and they gave this man a pistol. And they not supposed to be able to own them type of things. They're not supposed to have full benefits like we do. But come to find out that they was actually finding loopholes in the government and all this other stuff was giving them everything you thought they wouldn't even have access to. Like, it's a lot of people that got caught up here on medical. And that's why they was like, okay, now we're gonna have to do a deep dive. So when he had them people like what's his name? Elon Musk, and all them people came in and he said getting them access to these type of systems and stuff, and everybody was against it, it was because of the outcome that they knew was gonna be found. Like, y'all basically funded a lot of stuff that y'all weren't even supposed to be founding, and y'all basically doing a lot of things that y'all weren't supposed to be doing. And for one, I know they was getting Medicaid because when they brought these people in and they put them in this high-priced hotel down here in Chicago, downtown, and everything down there is expensive. Let's be clear. They actually put other people out just to put them in there, and they made it a shelter for them. They had nurses and doctors on staff that was getting paid to tend to them and make sure that they had all the medicines and stuff they needed and all the other things. So basically, that's when they was getting these food stamps and all this other stuff. Yeah, they was getting medical too. So this is why they was like, I'm like, wait, what? I ain't never heard none of us. Well, I ain't never heard nobody from over here, honestly. I'm not going to lie. If you have, maybe you have, and you can point that out in the chat. How many people that you know in the world could tell you they got 14,000 in stamps? I didn't even think the government would allow nobody over here that's a citizen to get 14,000 in stamps. So It's what we don't know and what they don't tell us that's getting exposed and coming out now. I believe it to be actual and factual because now you see these people in doctor's office all the time. When half of them didn't believe a doctor was something that they wanted to do. That's why they was sick and all of them was carrying, let me shut up because I don't want to be insensitive, but a lot of them was carrying around mental illnesses as far as COVID and all them other things because they don't tend to go to the doctor like we like to. And it's some black people that don't go to the doctor either. It's some people that's out here on drugs that refuse to go get treated. So yeah, they very much getting medical. They getting food stamps, they getting cash assistance, they getting all type of stuff, and they also getting $9,000. But we look at the fact that we get a rebate check for like $1,200, $600, $300. Like then they said, okay, well, let's get the people to keep them quiet. Let's get them a $5,000 check from the terrorists. And Trump told them, like, I don't know if I want to get them that much. He turned around and said, how about we give them $1,000 to $2,500? Since we found all this money in tariff, we can go ahead and get them a little package out of that. But we all know if he released that check, because there's so many people excited about that check, y'all know the government don't give us none free, and when they give it to us, they gonna find a way to take it back, whether it's raising taxes or whatever. So then I found some more stuff. And of course, Uber, Lyft, and all the ride shares and stuff like that. Trump is trying to tax them, and they were saying that they feel like they might end up being pushed out of business, but I know that ain't gonna happen. Come on now, because I be looking at people like they stupid. When Uber gets a surgeon for events and stuff like that, let's be very clear. That money that they'll charge you $100 and some for a $20 ride because they say Ubers and Lyfts are in high demand. So they feel like you supposed to pay them all the money that you can. And baby, these people pay it with no charge, with no problems. When it's events, these people pay that money with no problem. So why are all of a sudden these people complaining about the fact that the government has decided to tax them? And then not only that, our mayor and now him and the governor is at odds because he said since we got so many businesses up and running in Chicago, he feel like he want to tax them since they want the people ain't agreeing to him taxing them. And the governor just turned around and did a whole little sit down saying that he don't agree with that either.
Perspective, the Democrats refuse to keep the government open over health care to illegal aliens and now have jeopardized critical health care programs for American citizens instead. The Women, Infants, and Children program, community health center funding, Medicare treatment options, and other health programs are now all at risk because of the Democrats' rejection.
Oh, and Ms. Douglas, you can look that up for yourself. The reason why we shut down because they asking them, just like they wanted to put billions behind the transgenders, they're asking them to put $1 trillion behind the illegal migrants to help them get all the stuff that they need to look. And you can look that up. Because I actually looked it up. So this is actually the problem that we fighting with in the House, right? This is the problem that they fighting over right now. And this is why the government is shutting down, because they said that they don't feel like that the taxpayers should be held responsible to pay for these people. And they feel like that we got enough money to do it. But I'm telling you, we're going to take losses, because if you watch how this stuff, this is what made Chicago flip red and all them pop out. So I don't know, because I've been keeping on with Chicago mostly. But I didn't, like I say, I have been tuning into the stuff that they got going on too. A lot of people feel some type of way because you closed down our schools. You said because we didn't have the funding for the schools, so that's why you closed them down. And then we watched you open all these schools up to turn them into shelters for these illegal migrants that you was bringing in. But another thing that's been going on up here, and I was like, well, maybe this gonna backfire on them, because since all this has been going down and these people ain't finna receive that $9,000 that they was getting for being here, and they ain't finna receive them food stamps. Some people said it ain't worth it, and they was like they don't even want to go through the struggle that they will have to go through. So a lot of people have been self-deportating. They have been sitting here asking for the option to go ahead and leave up out of here on their own, because see, they was backing on the benefits that they was gonna get, and they don't know how long they gonna have to sit without them benefits. And then I'm like, all I can say is welcome to our world. Like, do you know that a lot of us don't have the option to up and leave and run back to our countries? We got to see and find a way to handle it and get through it. So I'm just saying. You say, well, I've been doing research, so I'm good with what learning. I don't debate anybody. I just listen to know to how they feel and move on. You good? We ain't debating about it, boo. I was just telling you. But yeah, this is a couple of issues we having up here because our mayor, and like I say, Mayor Johnson and the governor of Illinois, they have all said here and did a press conference about this and telling us we should back them and supporting these people because these people are less fortunate than us and these people need the support. So we should allow them to put us first. And that's when, like I say, it kind of pissed a lot of people off because that's what. And then I'm gonna do. I told y'all. I'm getting a list of when our date is because I want to take y'all to the meetings up here so y'all can actually see people raw emotions and feelings about this and how they address Mayor Johnson in the council meetings and stuff and tell him exactly where the hell to get off and where. And I also signed up for the Congress meetings. So anybody from Illinois that got some questions, I'm gonna put the email up on the screen so y'all can see it. Shouts out to the congressman. He has allowed me to be a person that can come into the meeting. He has allowed me to speak. He said in advance he would like for me to write down all questions I will have for him. And he say I could be in attendance while he answer them. So I have signed up for that. You say, I'm not, I know, boo, I know. I'm not talking about you, baby. I'm talking about people thinking, interacting with where I live. Okay, you good. No, because like I say, I value everybody's opinion. That's why I allow people to speak freely. It be the ones that want to argue and debate about this. And I'm like, well, no, I actually keep up with it. I do the research because I'm the type that I know people will tell us anything. So that's why I say I think the best way for me to be able to understand it is actually to tune into it. So I have been, matter of fact, let me see, because I might just go ahead and show the email, or I might just put my email up here because I emailed the congressman and told him it's too. Oh, wait a minute. Dang it. I'm gonna put this email up there. Join the upcoming town hall. Cause he put everything on here. I was supposed to RSVP for it. And y'all know something that's crazy because he threw it on the day I went up to par and I wasn't feeling well because it was yesterday. And it was at 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. RSVP here. After signing up, you'll receive a call when the event starts so you can participate by phone questions. Submit in advance through the RSVP form or ask live during the event on our Facebook page at www. Then I ain't gonna put his information out there. In person town hall dated Tuesday. Okay, so I'll be at the one on October the 28th. It's time 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It said the location. I ain't gonna put that out here either. It's a the address, the RSVP here. It's a detailed. Join us face to face to share your thoughts and ask questions directly. I rely on input from the community to guide my work, and I hope to hear from you at once or both of these events. Your voice matter, and it's Reverend Jackson Town Hall. And he said you could telephone or you can be in person. The in-person one, that's the one I signed up for. It's October the 28th because I don't want to do nothing over the phone. I want to get your whole demeanor. I want to see your response to me. I want your facial expression. I want to know if you true because you asking all of us to stand behind you. So I don't want you to get in there and be like Mayor Johnson. And then I've been also asking people, how did you vote? And some people said that they voted for Mayor Johnson because he was black. I'm like, just because our skin tone might match or be the same or different shades does not mean we all have the same fight or stance on things. So I think to know more and be better equipped, we should ask questions. Because trust me, a person that avoid all the hard questions, that ain't going to be somebody I vote for. I want you to be bold. I want you to be upfront. I want to be able to read you and see what my spirit say about you when you answer me. Like, can you look me in my eyes and not be intimidated? I'm not, I know. So yeah, but I've been reaching out and I'm gonna put this up there so y'all can see it. I've been reaching out to people and asking them, and I actually signed up for some of the things. And then something, I might put this up here for everybody so they can get it. Hold on. I'm getting a screenshot now. Cause I feel like we can talk on it. Hold on, I'm posting it. Give me a second. Let me go to this. Because I have been emailing the people in office. I ain't never been the type to do a half-ass job. So when I want to get to the bottom of something, I actually take the initiative to focus in on it and go through the proper channels to see who I talk to and how do I get access to these type of stuff for my own understanding. And I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I got on in there and got everything I would need. And then they asking us to vote. So yeah, this one way to make sure you get our vote. Interact with the people. Okay, I'm finna post it up now. I just went and got it, but I can wait. I'm gonna have to pause that until I post this. Hold on. So I have for the people that think I'm not paying attention. Like I say, I'm a person of multitask. I'm gonna ask y'all, do y'all want to go? Okay, do y'all want to attend? And then that's going to be the question attached to it. And now I can post this. I just posted it up on my community wall so y'all can see I ain't lying.
The most vulnerable in our country are being punished because the Democrats want to prioritize illegals over American citizens. And if Democrats actually cared about health care, they would applaud the actions taken by President Trump just yesterday in the Oval Office. He took a bold and massively popular action to improve our healthcare system. He announced the first agreement with a major
I just posted for people that wanted to see it. I cropped it. Because he actually I wrote him a personal letter and he responded to my personal letter, and I'm not going to show everything that we disclose. Like I say, I know a lot of politics in real life that I will interact with and I can have access to and sit down and talk to them. Like, what's the state of the future? Where do we go from here? What could we expect? Is it going to get better or is it going to get worse? So like when stuff like this start going on, I really want a better understanding of what I'm be dealing with so I know how to move going forward. And like I say, I take the initiative to actually reach out to these type of people because a lot of people are scared to interact with politicians. Like, I'm not scared. Like, I don't care. And then, like I say, I reached out to my officer friends to know, what's gonna come from here and how they feel about what's going on, and different people. Like, we got the FBI, we got the ATF, we got a lot of people that's getting involved and getting sucked into this because they federal government and they got to support other federal agents, then state troopers, the Cook County sheriffs. All these are people that's just like us. They human. Some of them belongs to families. Some of them are friends of families. Some of them been around. And a lot of people frown upon you if you got a badge or if you even in government offices and stuff. But I don't. Like, I just see you as one of us. So I don't know why people be intimidated, but I don't care. I'm going to come ask you what I want to ask you. I'm not afraid to pull up. I'm not afraid to be by myself. I don't care if you get mad or I push some buttons, because we do got to watch that, because with Chicago Flip Red, I've been sharing them on my community wall so people can catch up with them too. Like, some people done got their businesses closed down. They done got their houses demolished. They done got charges. People, they been getting threats talking about they'll get slapped with harassment and all type of stuff. And I'm like, dang. And she was just talking about it. So then it kind of triggered them, because it's like, you trying to intimidate me now. So it took them to take a stand. So now what they did is they started paying for court documentations and court records. And she been actually on her platform and on her channel breaking down the corruptions that she found. Like, it's a lady that was over the Section 8 program up here, because you know Chicago Section 8 open up like every 15 years to 20 years and stuff like that. So she been over this program, and she got her daughter to get an LLC in the business, and she made her daughter a millionaire. Then she got a man to also get to open up a business and stuff, and she made him a millionaire off the seat that she held. And she got them to be contracted to do the government and stuff like that. And then she's sitting on Section 8, and then she won't marry the man so she can still keep her benefits, because his income by them not being married can't be counted as husband. He don't stay with her. And I was like, girl, you setting yourself up for the okie doke, because if he ever wanted to disappear, like, he can. You gave him the money to do so. And then I was like, unless she got a safety net in the claw, because like, I can make you lose everything just like I helped you get it. So I can understand how that will work as well, because it's basically benefiting her. And then, oh y'all, oh girl, oh baby, Look, let me tell y'all something. While y'all go getting these high-priced cars and y'all getting food stamps and stuff, this lady had a 2024 BMW. You know, somebody reported her. And guess what they did after they reported her? When they reported her, they took her food stamps and they took her Section 8. And they told her if she ever want to requalify, they feel like that car is an access. So when they ask you, do you have access to stuff, or do you own this, or do you have property or anything like that, or stuff that you can see here and count as revenue, baby, they told that lady that she gonna have to sell that vehicle to ever be on any of them government lists for benefits again. That's going for Section 8, and it's also going for food stamps. And I was like, they ask you stuff like that. And this is why a lot of people said that they don't put all that on applications. But then you got to watch that, because now they said that they run extensive credit checks and background checks on people that do stuff like that, that get them type of programs and benefits. Because if they find it, they will start getting you for fraud. So they find all type of ways to go across and about catching people that they say have been defrauding the government. They linked a lot of, they linked a lot of the government systems together now, so it'll be more easy for them to have access and catch you. Okay.
Pharmaceutical company Pfizer to lower drug costs for Americans. This is a historical achievement long sought by past Democrat presidents that only President Trump was able to get done. Also yesterday, while the Democrats were whining about health care for illegal aliens, President Trump signed a powerful executive order to supercharge American AI innovation and unlock cures for pediatric cancer patients in the United States. While President Trump took action to lower drug prices and improve the lives and the care of American children with cancer, again, Democrats are fighting to give healthcare benefits to illegal aliens. The Trump administration is fully committed to lowering healthcare costs and advancing policies that will save American lives. But right now, we need to keep the government open and funded. And individuals and organizations across the political spectrum, across the country, agree with the Trump administration and Republicans. The labor union leader, the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, sent a very blunt message to Democrats over their destructive antics. He said American workers are not bargaining chips. Senators need to stop screwing around and pass the House-passed clean short-term funding bill. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the world's largest business organization, called to immediately pass the Republican clean CR, saying, quote, shutdowns are harmful to the economy, the American people, and our national security. And even Democrat Senators Cortez Masto and Fetterman acknowledged that their party is betraying the American people with this costly and chaotic Democrat shutdown. Enough is enough. Democrats need to stop sabotaging our country and holding the American people hostage in the country. Democrats need to do their jobs. The American people want the government reopened, and this is proven in a New York Times poll showing that 2 in 3 Americans say the government should not be shut down by the Democrats, even if their absurd demands are not met. The president and Republicans are working very hard to reopen the federal government. The vice president here has been crucial in this effort. We encourage all Americans across the country, call your Democrat senators and encourage them to reopen the government. That's what President Trump and the vice president want to do. And with that, I will turn it over to our great vice president, J.D. Vance.
Great. Well, thank you, Carolina, and good afternoon to everybody, and good afternoon to everybody who's watching at home. It's a tough act to follow, but let me just say a few things, then I'll take a few questions. Number one, Democrats say that they care a lot about lowering health care costs, and yet when the president took historic action to work with the drug companies to lower prescription drug prices, the Democrats did nothing to help us. In fact, we would have loved to have the Democrats helping us, but they didn't. They talk about doing something. They don't actually do the hard work of making it happen. What they have done instead is to shut down the government because we won't give billions of dollars to healthcare funding for illegal aliens. That is what has actually happened. To the American people who are watching, the reason your government is shut down at this very minute is because, despite the fact that the overwhelming majority of congressional Republicans and even a few moderate Democrats supported opening the government, the Chuck Schumer AOC wing of the Democratic Party shut down the government because they said to us, we will open the government, but only if you give billions of dollars of funding for health care for illegal aliens. That's a ridiculous proposition. Let me say two other quick things, and then again, I'll take some questions. Number one, We all understand that Democrats and Republicans have policy disagreements. The Democrats want to do things. Look, when Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries were in here a couple of days ago, they made some suggestions that the president was more than happy to say, yes, let's sit down and talk about how we can solve the health care crisis that we inherited from the Biden administration. But it's one thing to say that we should solve the health care crisis for Americans. It's another thing to say that we're going to shut down the government unless we give the Democrats every single thing that they want, which, as Caroline says, includes giving billions of dollars of taxpayer funding for health care for illegal migrants. That's ridiculous. You don't have policy disagreements that serve as the basis for a government shutdown. Let's have the conversation about how to fix American health care, about how to make health care more accessible. As the president showed, he's more than willing to act on behalf of the American people for this very reason. What you don't do is say, unless you do exactly what we want to do as congressional Democrats, we're taking a hostage. And the hostage, it turns out, is critical, essential services that the American people need. Caroline talked about some of it. Let me talk about some more. Our troops are not getting paid starting today because of the Chuck Schumer wing of the Democratic Party. We have people who require food assistance, low-income Americans who require food assistance, who will not get it unless we reopen the government, thanks to Chuck Schumer and his wing of the Democratic Party. We have flood insurance as we start hurricane season in the southeastern part of our country. That flood insurance is going to disappear because of Chuck Schumer and the far left of the Democratic Party. We need to reopen the government. Let's fix America's problems. Let's work together to solve them. But let's reopen the government before we have our negotiation about health care policy. That's what the American people demand, and that's certainly what the President of the United States wants. Let me make one final point. I think a lot of Americans are asking themselves, why did this happen? Why did the Democrats shut down the government despite, as Caroline said, voting on the exact same piece of legislation 6 months ago? And there are a lot of different spins that we can put on it, a lot of different answers that we could give, all of them true. One answer I already gave is that they want to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. That is true. They gave us legislative text that would have undone us cutting off health care benefits for illegal aliens. That's one of the things that they asked for. But the reality here, and let's be honest about the politics, is that Chuck Schumer is terrified she's going to get a primary challenge from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The reason why the American people's government is shut down is because Chuck Schumer is listening to the far left radicals in his own party because he's terrified of a primary challenge. So I'd invite Chuck Schumer to join the moderate Democrats and 52 Senate Republicans, do the right thing, open up the people's government, and then let's fix health care policy for the American people. Questions?
Mr. Vice President.
That's a lot. Matt Boyle.
Okay. Mr. Vice President, there's two key Democrat lies I would like to get your take on and see if you can address. The first is that you're seeing a number of top Democrat leaders, from Kamala Harris to Chuck Schumer to Hakeem Jeffries, claim that it is a Republican shutdown caused by Trump. The second is that they're out there now claiming that they don't want to give health care to illegal aliens. Can you address both of those lies from the Democrat Party?
Yeah, so on the point that it's a Republican shutdown, look, it's obviously a Democratic shutdown. Just look at the vote totals in the House, look at the vote totals in the Senate, and look at the President of the United States' own action and conduct throughout this crisis. Nearly every single House Republican voted to open the government, Matt. Nearly every single Senate Republican voted to open the government last night. And even to their credit, a few moderate Democrats voted to open the government. That's not a Republican shutdown when nearly every single Senate Democrat votes to shut it down and every Republican voted to open it up. It's just obviously not true. Now, you can disagree about a number of things, but you can't disagree about the obvious fact that Republicans voted to open the government. The president stands ready to sign that opening of the government. We just need a few more Democrats to join us in that effort to open the government. Your final question about illegal alien benefits. Look, the text is very clear. And I even saw, I think it was George Stephanopoulos in an interview with Mike Johnson, did a fact check that was totally rooted in baseless claims. It was basically Democrat propaganda. If you look at the legislative text that they gave us, they tried to turn on two separate provisions that would give health care benefits to illegal aliens. Number one, if you're an American citizen, you've been to a hospital in the last few years, you probably noticed that wait times are especially large, and very often somebody who's there in the emergency room waiting is an illegal alien, very often a person who can't even speak English. Why do those people get healthcare benefits at hospitals paid for by American citizens? The answer is a decision made by the Biden administration that the Trump administration, working with congressional Republicans, undid. We turned off that money spigot to healthcare funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats, in their legislative text, want to turn it back on. That's one thing. The second thing, Matt, is we all know that there are various ways in which the Biden administration waved away illegal immigration status. They gave parolees, they gave asylum claims to people who weren't really claiming asylum. And when they waved the magic wand of amnesty, giving millions of people legal status, even though they were in the country illegally, they also gave those people access to health care benefits. So what the Democrats are engaging in is a sleight of hand. They're saying, no. Those weren't illegal aliens who were getting health care benefits, even though everybody, knows they were in the country illegally. It's a lie told by the Democrats that they're not trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. It's a lie that is obviously untrue if you just look at the text that they gave us. And all you have to do is understand that this is about who benefits. We think the American people's government ought to benefit American citizens. The Democrats are willing to shut it down to benefit illegal aliens. The contrast couldn't be more clear. Peter.
Thank you, Vice President Vance. The big holdup is, of course, that you guys say illegal immigrants are getting taxpayer-funded health care. Democrats say you're lying. That makes it feel like it could be a really long shutdown. Is this going to be a long shutdown?
I don't know. I can't predict what congressional Democrats are going to do, Peter, but I actually don't think it's going to be that long of a shutdown. This is a pure guess from the Vice President of the United States, because I think you already saw some evidence that moderate Democrats are cracking a little bit. They understand the fundamental illogic of this. Look, for years, every single one of us, we can remember Barack Obama on the White House lawn. We can remember Chuck Schumer. We can remember, Nancy Pelosi. For years, in Chuck Schumer's case, for literally decades, we've heard them say, you don't shut the government down over policy disagreement. Okay, Republicans think this thing about health care, that thing about health care. Democrats think this thing about immigration. Republicans disagree. Whatever those disagreements are, you don't shut down the government over it. For the first time since the Democrats have been in politics, they're now saying that unless we get every policy item that we demand, we're going to shut down the people's government. They're trying to take a hostage, and we're not going to let them.
And the administration announced today that $18 billion bound for New York transportation projects is going to be frozen so it can't go to DEI programs there. But the timing of this, does announcing that today mean that you guys are going to squeeze Chuck Schumer's home state until he blinks?
Look, I haven't talked to Russ about this morning, but look, I'm sure that Russ is heartbroken about the fact that he is unable to give certain things to certain constituencies. We want to do everything that we can to help the American people, but when the Democrats shut down the government, we have to actually do a little triage to make sure the most critical and most essential services are provided. The government does a lot of things. Of course, Republicans think that the federal government probably does too much, but there are a lot of critical things the federal government does that absolutely all of us would agree need to do. Our troops need to get paid. Our air traffic controllers need to make sure that people are flying safely and on time. We need low-income people to be able to access the food services that are provided by the federal government. There are critical things that need to be saved. We're going to do everything that we can over the coming weeks, if the shutdown lasts that long, to ensure that people get the essential services that they need, despite the fact that Chuck Schumer has shut down the federal government. It's not going to be perfect because we are in a government shutdown. We are going to have to lay some people off if the shutdown continues. We don't like that. We don't necessarily want to do it, but we're going to do what we have to keep the American people's essential services continuing to run.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, and thank you for being here. Yesterday, President Trump said, as a result of the shutdown, we'll be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they are going to be Democrats. Has the administration asked agencies to target federal workers who they believe to be Democrats in these reductions of forces?
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much as possible of the essential services can continue to function. That is the question the president has asked the entire government, is fundamentally, okay, we're in a shutdown. That causes some problems. The troops aren't getting paid. There's nothing that we can do about that while the government is shut down. But there are essential services that we want to make sure sure as much as possible they still continue to function. That is the principle that's driving us forward during the shutdown. It's going to continue to be the principle that drives us forward. But let's be honest, if this thing drags on for another few days or God forbid another few weeks, we are going to have to lay people off. We're going to have to save money in some places so that essential services don't get turned off in other places. That is the reality of the government shutdown that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have foisted upon the administration.
So what did
Phil.
he mean by they're going to be Democrats? He said they're going to be Democrats.
You've laid out a lot of the pain and problems that would come with a Democratic shutdown, and yet in the Oval Office yesterday, the president said that a lot of good could come from a shutdown. So square that circle. Which is it, a Democratic-caused crisis or a Republican opportunity for reform?
Well, I think all the president is saying, Phil, is that he wants to make sure the American people's government functions as well as it can, despite the fact that we're in a shutdown. We're going to have to make things work. And that means that we're going to have to triage some certain things. That means certain people are going to have to get laid off. And we're going to try to make sure that the American people suffer as little as possible from this shutdown. That's what the president is saying, is that, yes, this is a bad thing. Obviously, the president is trying to reopen the government, but we're going to make things work as well as we possibly can, given the constraints that we have.
And then on those policy differences for the discussion and the negotiations to come later, during the Biden administration, Democrats twice voted to expand these Affordable Care Act tax credits. But those were supposed to be temporary, and they were slated to expire at the end of the year. As you sort of crack the door open to negotiation at a later date, would the party that ran on defunding Obamacare really negotiate about potentially expanding Obamacare?
Well, Phil, what we've said to the Democrats is that we're willing to have a conversation about how to ensure that Americans continue to have access to health care. And frankly, they should have access to better health care at a lower cost. We inherited a mess of a health care system from the Biden administration. It's why the president has worked so hard on the most favored nation status for prescription drugs. It's why we care so much about lowering the cost of prescriptions and why we're doing everything else. We're willing to have that conversation. But I think it's important to bracket the health care policy conversation because it's separate from the government shutdown. We think that we can open the government and then have the conversation about what best healthcare policy to fit the needs of the American people. That's all we're trying to do. That's all we're trying to accomplish. We've got to reopen the government first. Now, Caroline, I don't know how you do this, how you actually choose people, because I don't know 90% of the names in here. Is it just who's the best dressed? Okay, I really like your shirt. Go ahead.
We're in our Domino's Best Deal Ever era because we know you're in your pizza topping maximizing era. Get it?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. You are president of the Senate. Can you talk about what you're doing, what the administration is doing to try to get other Senate Democrats to vote to open the government?
Yeah, we're talking to a number of our colleagues, Democratic and Republican in the Senate. I talked to a number of them last night. The president, of course, is talking to them as well. I think there really are two categories of demands that I've seen privately from congressional Democrats. I think on the one hand, those who are negotiating in good faith are saying, look, we just want to make sure that we're able to have a conversation with the administration about some of the critical needs that we see that need to get fixed over the next few months. We recognize it's kind of absurd, and a lot of them will admit in private that it's kind of absurd to shut down the people's government over these disagreements, but just agree to negotiate with us in good faith on these issues. And of course, we're having that conversation with them. Then there's another category, people who say, give us everything we want or we're going to keep the government shut down. We just write those people off because they're not negotiating in good faith. And frankly, we don't need them. We've already got 3 more Democrats last night than I thought we would get. And I think it's because they recognize the illogic of the position of taking the entire American economy hostage because they don't get their policy priorities. So 3 moderate Democrats joined 52 Republicans last night. We need 5 more in order to reopen the government. And that's really where we're going to focus, is how to get those 5 additional Democrats.
Thanks, Mr. Vice President. First 2 questions. Are there plans to meet Democratic leaders again in the coming days, or are you planning on plucking out senators one by one?
So that's the whole question?
No, I got a second question.
Okay, go ahead and ask the second question.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw.
Recently, you've said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero?
I think it's funny.
That man that Trump trolling that man, posting pictures of him in that
fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the President of the United States about that. Now, to your first question, are we negotiating one-on-one? Are we negotiating in groups? Look, I will go to the U.S. Capitol right now and meet with Chuck Schumer or any Senate Democrat if it helps us reopen the government. Most of the conversations, in my experience at least, have been one-off. We're also, of course, relying on some of our Senate Republican colleagues who have good relationships across the aisle. We're going to do whatever we have to do is the answer. And I think it's tough to predict what shape this negotiation is going to take over the next few months. But I feel good about the fact that Democrats already realize privately the fundamental irrationality of their position. I hope that they're going to publicly acknowledge it and reopen the government. The guy in the back, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. You responded to a post on X of Chuck Schumer on the House floor back in 1996, railing against illegal immigrants receiving taxpayer-funded benefits. You said Chuck Schumer once recognized that it was disastrous to give illegal aliens rewards for breaking the law. Now he wants to shut down the government unless we reward illegal aliens for breaking the law. Why has Chuck Schumer changed his stance?
You know, that's a good question. Actually, it's a very tough question. Asking me to get in the head of Chuck Schumer is not a place I particularly want to be, but my basic read on it is that the entire Democratic Party, the political leadership, not every Democrat nationwide, but the political leadership of their party has got it into their heads that the only way to be compassionate is to be compassionate to illegal aliens rather than American citizens. If you go back to what Bill Clinton was saying, even Barack Obama in some cases, what he was saying about illegal immigration 10, 15, 20 years ago, you would put them on the MAGA right based purely on their rhetoric around illegal immigration. So I don't know why they've gone so far to the left. I think it's bad for the country. I think it's bad for them politically. But our principle, all I can do is speak for the president that I serve and the country, the administration that I serve right now. We believe that the American people's government exists for the American people. That means the people who have the legal right to be here, and that's why we're fighting to reopen the government. And unfortunately, the Democrats are fighting to shut it down for the benefit of illegal aliens. And I'll take a couple more, and then I'll let Caroline, I'll go back to my day job so Caroline can go back to hers. All right, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Just going back to the sombrero, you said that the president is joking, but
I just want to tell y'all, this is like a eye-opener waking up with me. I'm only going to give y'all 2 hours of this because I don't want y'all to have an overload, because I don't overload myself with this. I watch it when I can in between my breaks and stuff throughout my day, and then I decide to come talk about it. And then when I get tired or my brain feel like it need a rest from it, I'll let it sit there and marinate and go to something else. And that's why I said I was getting zoned out on that ICE stuff, because I got bored with it. And that's why I say, okay, it's other things I could be doing and different other things we can be coming up with about as far as content. And then, like, I think it'll be something like an eye opener for us to listen to before the YouTube board awakes and start hitting their live button, because then it'll be probably back to the drama and the messy stuff going on. So 9 times out of 10, this going to be y'all morning wake up with me. We're going to come in on a positive note. We're going to basically touch on all subjects I've been watching and I've been covering. And then I'll let y'all go back to as the YouTube turns.
Jeffrey says that these memes were racist. What's your response to that? And just if I may briefly go off topic, Secretary H.L.I.C yesterday made an edict about no more beardos in the military. Just wondered what.
Sorry, what did he say?
No more beardos.
Beards.
Sorry, it's my accent. Just wanted your response to that.
I didn't see that particular comment. I thought Pete gave a hell of a speech, and a speech that really is just oriented around returning the American military to the very high standards that it has had for virtually its entire history until Joe Biden came along and decided to lower standards. I think it was bad for our military, and it was bad for our troops. When I was a young United States Marine, I did not have a beard. I am now the vice president, so I get to do what I want to do. But I think Pete's trying to re-implement high standards, and that's a very good thing. On the sombrero thing, I mean, Hakeem Jeffries said it was racist, and I know that he said that, and I honestly don't even know what that means. Like, is he a Mexican American that is offended by having a sombrero meme? I mean, I saw one of the major TV stations put the meme up and then say, this is AI generated. And he had like the curly animated mustache too. It's like, do you really not realize the American people recognize that he did not actually come to the White House wearing a sombrero and a black curly animation mustache? Like, give the country a little bit of credit. We're all trying to do a very important job for the American people. The President of the United States likes to have a little bit of fun when he's doing it, and I think that's okay. I'll take one more question.
Mr. Vice President, in every previous shutdown, workers have been furloughed, not laid off. So why does the president want to fire some workers and not just furlough them? Why is this shutdown any different?
Well, first of all, we haven't made any final decisions about what we're going to do with certain workers. What we're saying is that we might have to take extraordinary steps, especially the longer this goes on. We're going to have to take extraordinary measures to ensure the people's government operates, again, not perfectly, because it's not going to operate perfectly in the midst of a shutdown, but operate as well as it possibly can. And I think that the Democrats, if they're so worried about the effect this is having on the American people, and they should be, what they should do is reopen the government, not complain about how we respond to the fact that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have shut down the government in the first place. Thank you,
Also
Caroline.
going to target some benefits, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. See you guys.
Benefits to be cut as well?
All right, guys. Well, let's let the fun continue. The Vice President's a very busy man, and I'm happy to take some more questions. I know there's more news today. Aside from the shutdown, we can focus on the shutdown if you want, but let's go ahead. Kate, why don't you start?
The president talked about doing things that he said were irreversible during the shutdown, cutting vast numbers of people, he said, and cutting programs. Can you specify what exactly he's referring to, what's on the table, and what's going to be cut?
Look, I think the Vice President just referred to this in some of the answers that he gave regarding the layoffs. There are unfortunate consequences to a government shutdown, and the federal government is not receiving any cash at the moment, and so the Office of Management and Budget has been tasked with looking over the receipts and looking over the budget of the entire federal bureaucracy, and as the Vice President said, determining what needs to continue to go out the door and what can we continue to keep running and what unfortunately is going to have to come to an end. So those decisions are being made, and unfortunately layoffs are very likely, as the Vice President just said, going to be a part of that.
And has the White House had any direct response from Hamas, from the peace proposal that was laid out? The president said he would give 3 or 4 days, but is there a hard deadline now, or what are the next steps here?
I will reiterate what the President of the United States said, 3 or 4 days, and I can tell you that there are some very sensitive discussions that are taking place, but I certainly don't want to get ahead of any announcement at this podium. I'm going to let Special Envoy Witkoff and the President of the United States handle that.
Thank you, Caroline. 2 questions. First of all, following up on that, the President said yesterday, I believe, within 3 or 4 days he wanted to hear an answer from Hamas. Is he still sticking by that timeline?
Yes, as I just confirmed.
And then second question is a comment that's gotten a lot of global attention. Senator Dick Durbin, he was set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Catholic Church. He's since declined accepting it because there has been some controversy. Pope Leo commented on this, and he said, as someone who says I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhumane treatment of immigrants in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life. You've been very open about your Catholic faith. How do you respond to that?
I would reject there is inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the United States under this administration. There was, however, significant inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the previous administration as they were being trafficked and raped and beaten and in many cases killed over our United States southern border. You also look at the inhumane treatment at the hands of some of these illegal immigrants that took place under the previous administration as well. Laken Riley comes to mind, a beautiful American citizen who was killed at the hands of an illegal immigrant. So this administration is trying to enforce our nation's laws in the most humane way possible, and we're upholding the law, and we're doing that on behalf of the people of our country who live here.
Okay, y'all got 5 minutes, 4 minutes left. Is there anything else y'all would like to talk about on the topic list that might cross y'all mind? And then we can go ahead and exit up out of here. If not, we can go ahead and end a little early. I ain't gonna cheat y'all out y'all 4 minutes. Because I'll say, baby, it's a lot going on, but y'all Epstein files is on the way. As soon as that lady get voted in, she's suing them. They say anybody that's basically capable and able to swear her in can swear her in at this point. They don't have to rely on the other person swearing her in. So she's going to be sweared in because she already done got the approval. She won. She's one of them. Only thing they waiting on is a swearing process, and the dude is refusing to swear her in because basically she want to release the Epstein file, and they need 218 votes. So now it's time for the game to begin, and they trying to lock out the last person that said it's a yes for her. She's voting, but they think that they's not trying to swear her in because she says she's gonna vote for it, and more people want to use this as a way for them to achieve whatever goals they're trying to achieve, I guess. Because I don't see no reason why not swearing her in and let her do her job and represent for the people that voted her there. So we gonna see what it come, but I know what it's about. It's about they don't want to release them Epstein files, but y'all got more people that's saying that y'all need to release them. They feel like y'all deserve it. They feel like the women that's been attacked and went through this stuff, and due to that lady that took her life this year, they feel like that she deserve justice. And they coming for them Epstein's files. So now I don't know what they gonna do, because the people I seen, like my girl K Fit and everybody else said, tell Trump to release them Epstein files. Girl, your Epstein's files is on the way. As soon as this lady gets sweared in, they voting to put it out here, and they only need 218 people to sign off on it before it becomes a vote. So baby, it's on the way. Like, I can't wait, because I think we want to break down the Epstein files. I think a lot of us probably break that down, because, you know, a lot of people want to know who all on there. Like, I'm wondering too, but I bet it's probably going to be, because, you know, Diddy list, when they originally released Diddy list, it was a lot of politicians and presidents. Obama was on there. His wife was on there. Clinton was on there. The Clintons. So it was a lot of people that was on there. And then what did it do? Because it seemed like a lot of people swept that P. Diddy list right up under the rug. So I'm thinking, like, from the higher up and the people that are associated with these type of parties and get into this type of stuff behind scenes, because this is where them type of parties stem from, and they nationwide now, and they became a big thing. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real and be honest with y'all. Like, I think it ain't gonna be nothing but the same people and the same names. And y'all better be careful, because, baby, the more and more I'm watching this stuff about Diddy and all these people that was involved and came off his list, I got that list. So I might just put that list up there so y'all can see that list for yourself. For everybody that forgot about it, I do got that list, because when I was supposed to do some collabs with people and they wanted to make it content, next thing you know, once I sent them the list, they shut it down and was like they changed their mind. But I still got that list, so I still might upload it for y'all to look at the names on there for yourself. Because you might want to know them names and be aware of them names. Because come to find out, like, they pointing out the obvious, but I'm hearing that a lot of these people have now come out and admitted to having the three-letter communities, the house in Virginia, and the AIDS and all this other stuff. So we might have to chime into that, because I noticed they outed Usher for having herpes. They outed a couple of other people from contracting STDs. But then I'm finding out, listening to some of that stuff too, that in them little parties, nobody used protection. So everybody on that, everybody that's part of that, that was part of that event, I think they all might be told something, and they just keeping it swept under the rug because they don't want it to get out. And then they don't want people to sit here and hold it against them, because in them parties, them type of parties, ain't no protection used. Okay, y'all y'all met y'all 2 hour mark. Thank you for waking up with me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hitting the like button. And I'll probably see y'all again tomorrow, or I might see y'all later on, but this will not be the topic. So we're going to start our day off, and we're going to touch on politics. We're going to do it early in the morning so we can get it out the way, and then we can open our brains up with other things. I thought to come in on a nice little level this morning, keep it positive for y'all, because some of y'all might be at work, some of y'all might be lounging around because y'all finna have to get up in a little while, or some of y'all could be in there cooking breakfast or something. Some of y'all might be getting ready to lay down. So I don't know what y'all doing in y'all day, but I want y'all to continue to have a blessed day. And don't let YouTube stress y'all out. Be entertained, be engaged, and know when to tune stuff off and turn the app off and shut it down. Like, that's my word to you, because it's a new day and we all woke up and got to see it. And I want y'all to continue to have good vibes and good energies. Thank y'all for waking up with me. I'm out.